Welcome everyone. This is Tracy Una Wagner with Versatile Inspirations, and today we're going to be learning how to cut the clutter, and we'll be discussing what the clutter is. So just give me a moment and I'll share the screen and we'll be right into it. Wonderful. And here again, we're going to be discussing the transpersonal energy system. And I'm not going to go into detail too much about what that is. There's lots of videos that I've done that explain a little bit better what the transpersonal energy system is, but we will be discussing a little bit of what it will be beneficial for. And I'll kind of tell you what that is. Let me open this up a little bit more. There we go. Fabulous. All right. And we're going to be talking today about clearing the clutter. So, what is the clutter? So, you may have heard people talking about monkey mind, even just mind clutter. What monkey mind is when your thoughts kind of skip from one thing to another, especially like if you're meditating. A lot of people, when you meditate, you're sitting there, and so your mind, because your body is more relaxed and you're able to you're concentrating, but your mind says, oh, but wait, you've got all these other ideas. And so you think about your to-do lists and bullet points of your day and just what you didn't do throughout the day. And it goes from one thing to another to another. So that's kind of what monkey mind is. Now, mind clutter is you have got so much information in there. It's very similar to monkey mind, but there's just so much information in there that you can't concentrate. There's just so much information that it's almost like information overload. You've got all this information in your head and you just don't know where to start. It's so much that you can't concentrate on maybe what you're doing or what you want to do next. Even if they're good things, even if you're thinking about things that you really like, sometimes all of those things just kind of equal just big mind clutter, something that you can't even focus on. Sometimes it could even give you a headache or just make you exhausted, just even sitting trying to think of things. So we're going to try and work through maybe how we can work with the transpersonal energy system and other ways to be able to cut through that and be able to really be able to focus. So how do we cut through the clutter? There's many different ways that we can use that will help, and not always the same thing works over and over and over again. Sometimes one thing will work for you, and then you may feel like changing it up and doing something else. Or in the case of mind clutter, a lot of times there's so much information in there, it just wants to be let out. And so by sitting and actually just letting your thoughts out onto paper really helps to cut through that and just getting it out of your head or your heart, or just putting it on paper. You're able to be able to focus more on the task that's at hand. One of the ways is by burning candles. When you burn candles, what happens is there's that one flame. That one flame flickers and grows and shrinks and just dances. But there's one flame. And so by concentrating and focusing on that flame, you're able to really start focusing. And focusing is what you want to be doing to clear that clutter. So being able to focus on that candle flame and just focus, just gaze on it, and just kind of let your gaze just kind of be a little bit more subtle. Don't stare necessarily at it, although at first you may feel like just sitting there staring at it because it's got a little bit of a calming effect. But what happens is your gaze kind of just opens up. And so then you're able to just really focus and concentrate maybe on that one thing and just clear the rest of it right away. By breathing, a lot of times we forget to breathe. And I'm not talking just not that kind of breathing, but real intentional breathing, even by just doing an exercise I love doing. Uh, just put your hands on your chest, the top part of your chest, and just really deep breathe into your chest and relax that breath. Now, put your hands on your rib cage underneath, just underneath your breast and just on your lower ribs. Just put your hands on that area and deep breathe into that and release that. And for the third one, put your hands on your belly. A lot of us forget to deep breathe down into our belly, and we've got more than just the top lungs. We've got our bottom lungs and down into our belly to really fill up that whole lung cavity and just be able to take in that air. So just deep breathe into your belly, push your hands out, and then release that. When we're breathing, we are actually coming into our body again. We're focusing on taking that breath. And by focusing, you're clearing all that mind clutter out. You're focusing on that one task at hand, breathing. Focusing exercises, even just focusing with that breath. You can also do focusing exercises, something like with pencils. When you have a whole bunch of pencils, if you're thinking about it and say you want to color with a blue color pencil or a pen or a crayon, anything, but you want blue and you want a specific color blue. That specific color blue is in that lineup, but you have to focus on finding that one color. So by focusing on that, you're able to clear out the mind clutter. You're clearing out all the other colors except for that blue, that certain blue, sky blue or indigo, whatever, or royal blue, whatever color you want. But by focusing on that one color, you're able to clear out the mind clutter of all the other colors and just focus on that one. And there are all other exercises, even just by taking a bunch of words and maybe focusing on trying to find just that specific word in places. It's an interesting exercise, but it helps you to be able to clear out everything else and just really focus on the one thing. Journaling. There again, sometimes we just have so much stuff in our heads or in our heart or on our to-do list that just putting it down on paper, journal about it, or just put bullet points, bullet point it out for the day, or just actually take in notes and be able to just write down whatever's in your head. There are good ideas. They're coming to you for a reason. And once you have them down on paper, then you're not having to worry about them so much or having to worry about forgetting them. You've got them down on paper to carry a notebook and just be able to write those things down whenever you can. Or use your smartphone and press the record button. Get that clutter, that stuff that's in your head, just get it out and record it or put it down on paper. And that way you can let it go and really focus on the task at hand, whatever that may be. Make sure throughout the day to stop and take long, deep breaths. This will also help you to relax, but it also helps you to center yourself, to be able to come back into your body and be able to focus again on the task or whatever else you're doing at the time. So for some transpersonal help, your transpersonal energy system is just a wealth of information on how to really focus and stay clear on what it is that you want to do, what it is that you are planning on doing, how to move forward with that, and really just to center yourself and ground yourself into your being. One of the best ways is by the soul self reconnection. Your soul self resides in your chest around your heart and thymus chakras. So it's right in that centermost wonderful area between heaven and earth. And it is your soul. It's the soul that is your soul self that is connected and tethered to your spirit self. By focusing and reconnecting to your soul self, you will be able to harness what it is that you need to focus on. Maybe you don't know what you should focus on at the time, but by going into your soul self, reconnecting, and just harnessing the ability to just reconnect, you're able to concentrate on what it is maybe that you really do need to be focusing on. Maybe you're, because of the mind clutter, the monkey mind going everywhere, you're just all over the place and you lose sight of what your soul journey is in this lifetime. But when you reconnect with your soul self, you're able to really remember and to be able to move forward with that information rather than being unsure, unclear. Hand placements. There again, I talk about placing your hands over your heart or placing your hands on your chest or your belly. You can also do it in lots of different other locations. If you are having trouble with maybe focusing on what it is that you want to say or how to communicate something, place your hands over your throat chakra. This is the area that will help you communicate what it is you're trying to deliver, no matter what it is, just by focusing on that. Also, your third eye, it's your brow area is a really wonderful, and your head area is a wonderful area to not only to give and receive information with your hand chakras, but also by placing your hands maybe a little more than gentle, just a little bit with more pressure than normal, you're able to really focus on that area. And whether you're trying to use your third eye, or even if you have a headache, just by placing your hands on the side of your head and being able to focus on what it is you're trying to focus on will actually help to not only alleviate some of that pressure that's in your head, but also it actually helps you to focus on not only what you're doing, but maybe come back into your body and think about what it is that you're trying to focus on. What is the idea that you're trying to take to its fullest, whatever that focus point is. Also, on top of your head, by receiving into your crown chakra, you're able to focus that crown chakra and receive some information. Now, above that crown chakra, right to the back, you've got the causal chakra, then you have the soul star, and then up into 12 to 14 inches above your head, you've got the stellar gateway. So you've got multiple layers of hand placements that you can place. By placing your hands together, you're able to receive the guidance from the divine as well, just by placing your hands together. And by placing your hands together, you're sending and receiving chakras. Your hand chakras are coming together, and you're able to just focus on that in particular. And by focusing on that, you're able to become more clear, weeding out the mind clutter and coming into being. Affirmations or mantras. Affirmations and mantras are wonderful for even just becoming more focused. Om, just the most simple mantra ever. Om brings you back into center and brings you back into the moment. And with that, you're able to focus more. If you're having more monkey mind, and when you're trying to meditate or do things that require more relaxation techniques, then even just by saying in your head om, or by saying it out loud, just om, om, that clear sound and tone of the om will actually help to bring you back to center and cause you to focus. Your heart center, again, has so much information in it, and by placing your hand over your heart area, your chest, you're able to focus more so right in that heart center, and you're able to see, what should I be focusing on, which is just a little bit different than having to going through the soul self up into spirit self, since they're tethered, and connecting that way just by focusing on your heart center. What in your heart wants to come into being? What does your heart want to focus on right now? So it's always just wherever you want to go, however you want to do it, many different ways that the transpersonal energy system can help. Now, one thing, by using the Earth Star centering and grounding, you're able to really ground your body into its being again here on the physical plane, and be able to, it sometimes does help to focus more just by grounding down into the Earth Star chakra, which is about 3 to 6 inches below the Earth's crust, or the top layer of the Earth, just down past your feet, about 3 to 6 inches down into the Earth. Then right there is where the Earth Star chakra is. And by grounding into that, you're able to be more stable and firm into your physical being here on Earth. That's one of its jobs. So it's a little bit easier because once you're in your body again, you're able to concentrate and focus a little more on what it is that you're wanting to do. Those are ways you can tap into your transpersonal energy system, and to have it help you to not only ground back into your physical being, but also to be able to focus. And in some instances, you're going to get more laser focus on what your intentions are, what you need to focus on next, what your heart is telling you you need to do. So with those things, with those abilities to work with the transpersonal energy system, there's many more, but just these are the easiest ones and the ones that will help out the most. Thank you so much for being with me today. I so appreciate it. Please feel free to chat with me by sending me an email at tracy@versatileinspirations.com. Visit me on the web at versatileinspirations.com or tracyunawagner.com. My Facebook pages are TU Wagner or Versatile Inspirations. Twitter is at To Inspire for Greatness. And my Pinterest is TU Wagner. I love Pinterest. So let me stop the share here. Wonderful. And thank you again so much for being with me today. I hope to see you again soon. And I hope that maybe gave you some ideas to stop that mind clutter. Take care, and I will see you again soon. As always, I'm sending you love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.